Well, it's good to have you back, Mitch. How was your Wizard's pilgrimage?
Yeah, it was good, man. It was good. The tower looks good, though.
Yeah, thanks, dude.
Did you install a skylight up top here?
Oh, yeah. Mark dropped by, so he left that giant hole in the roof of
like
the
he
Wizard's
physically
tower.
dropped in.
Yeah, no, he really dropped by.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And what's this like cardboard over this clearly a giant hole? Like what's going on there?
So don't worry about that. That was Mark as well, but
okay.
just ignore that, man. I got to talk to the landlord about getting that patched.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, welcome back to the.
Shit. Are you good down there?
Dude, what was that? Why is there a hole here?
Yeah, sorry, man. That was Mark. I did warn you. There is a piece of cardboard clearly covering a hole that you did just stand on.
What's these jisms doing down here?
Oh, watch out, man. They'll get you in the face.
I thought you made these up.
Yeah, no, they're very real and they are very lethal.
They're all over me. They're in
watch
my
your
hair.
eyes, man. Watch
They're
your
in my
eyes.
hair.
Anyway, welcome back to the Wizard's Tower.
They're in my hair.
The Wizard's Tower!
I just want to start off the pod to say thanks to Mark Gallagher for filling in for me last week. That was huge. I was away, and it was really nice of him to
He
last
dropped by.
minute. Yeah.
He dropped by, gave us a
Physically
skylight
dropped
as
by,
well, which was cool. Yeah, no, super generous of him.
Yeah.
He's the best. He's such a nice guy, and he actually had to travel pretty far as well.
Oh, really?
So yeah, and I was gonna buy him lunch. Everywhere was closed. By the time we finished the podcast,
Classic.
everywhere was closed. I was like, yeah, mate,
Classic Jackson.
There's a great pub just down the road here. Trust me. And we walked in. I'm like, it is closed.
I forgot my wallet as well.
Damn.
you get
that
this?
sucks. We ended up going to a coffee shop after we'd already both had like 3 coffees.
Oh, shit.
And then we went into this coffee shop and he's like, oh, we don't serve coffee. It's not a coffee shop. And I was like, what is this place? He's like, oh, it's like a boutique experience where you book it. It's like $80 a person.
God.
You book it and then they brew 3 different coffees for you and then you taste them and they talk you through the experience.
It's like a winery.
tasting.
Yeah, it's like wine tasting with coffees. That's kind of cool.
And then he
Very
gave
Melbourne.
It is very Melbourne.
Yeah, about
And
as
he-
Melbourne as you get, I think.
He was like, we actually just finished setting up this machine so we can give you coffees for free. And we're like, fuck, it's like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Like,
I kind of want to sleep.
I guess. We're like, how strong is this coffee? He's like, oh, it's just one standard coffee.
1 liter.
Yeah.
It's just one.
I ended up, we had the coffees.
Yeah.
And I haven't even told Mark this. I ended up almost going to the hospital because I had heart palpitations for the next
Oh my
3
God.
days. Because I'd had a coffee in the
Jesus.
morning, a
Yeah.
coffee before the pod, then this coffee. My heart, I literally did the Apple Watch ECG thing and it was like inconclusive.
Just blinking
It was-
alert.
It was literally like every time I scanned, it was like inconclusive. I had extra heartbeats. I had parts where my heart
Jesus.
wasn't beating at all.
Whoa.
And then I had like double heartbeats.
All of that's bad. There's not
It
a
felt
single.
bad.
There's not a single thing in there that's good.
Yeah, ChatGPT was like, it's not good, but like, you should be fine. But if it keeps happening, you should go to the doctor.
The Apple Watch is like, are 3 people wearing this watch?
Yeah, I was
How
like,
am
what
I
the
getting no heartbeat, 2 heartbeats, and 1?
They were like, it could just be the ECG, could just be the Apple technology. And I was like, I did it 3 times and it kept happening.
I don't think it's that.
And I felt my heart skip when it
Damn.
showed on the ECG. And
Wow.
ChatGPT was like, yeah, it's probably not great.
Are you saying Mark Gallagher made your heart skip a beat?
Yeah.
Wow,
He
okay.
nearly killed me.
Oh, okay.
It was actually Mark's fault. He nearly killed me.
Yeah, wow.
That was crazy.
All right, last time he's ever on the pod, then. That's it.
No,
That's
that's
it.
done.
Can't
No,
kill
he's
our
done.
co-host. That's rule number 1 of the Wizard's Tower. I thought we made that clear.
They can go on pilgrimages.
Yeah, that's
you can
all right.
replace them for an episode with somebody
can't
else,
kill 'em.
but you can't kill them.
I thought I said that. I made that clear when I messaged him.
You can petrify them. You can turn them into frogs. You can give them potions to make them sleep until true love's first kiss wakes them up. But you cannot under
kill
any
'em.
circumstances kill them. That's rule 1 of just being a magical creature. You can never just outright kill someone with a gun. It's always got to be like,
Ooh, yeah.
what if we does 3 trials? Trials 3, and he will be awake from his slumber. Like, it's always gonna be something real
like-
convoluted that
it's
you
like,
can beat him.
Fucking Dr. Evil always does like some like elaborate plan, and then Scott's like, "I got a gun under my bed. I could just shoot him right now."
Should we watch the sharks eat them? No.
No, shut the doors. We'll put 1 guard at the door, and the sharks with lasers on their head.
He's
like,
clearly
he's
gonna
gonna
escape.
get out. That's exactly what it is.
That is what we do every week.
That's funny.
Yeah.
But where I was away on a mate's trip, And man, it was just the best time. It was
Yeah.
such a great time. So like, I don't know if you guys, like literally a year ago, I was in Spain because we talked about that
Espanol.
on the podcast a year ago.
That's not what Spain.
Probably a year ago
to
to
Spain.
Espanol. I don't know. I don't know. It's been a year. I can't remember either. But like, so when I got there on Friday, I picked up me mate Mitch, who I went to Spain with, another Mitch, who I also went to Spain with for my birthday.
Yeah.
And a year later, we were just walking around.
Mitch,
yeah.
yeah.
Another friend,
There's
Mitch. Yeah.
Another friend you went to Spain with, who conveniently was also named Mitch. I'm sure he exists. No, for sure.
Yeah, definitely not made up. I wasn't just walking around
Red hair,
Spain by
super
myself.
handsome, loves Wizard Tower
Yeah,
themed
big,
things.
yeah.
Wizard themed things.
Just got schizophrenia this whole time. And we were just walking around Sunny Coast together like we did when we were in Spain. So we did that again a full year later and just chatting, having a good ass time.
Yeah.
So that was just highlights, like playing Super Smash Bros. One of my close mates who fucking just keeps beating. He plays Luigi and I play Pokemon Train, just keeps beating me. Anyway, it's a whole thing. I don't want to
That's
get
your
angry.
problem. You're playing Pokemon
No,
Train.
Pokemon Train is
You got to
sick,
play
bro.
Steve from Minecraft.
Fuck Steve from Minecraft, bro. You would be a Steve from Minecraft.
I would be a Steve from Minecraft.
I'm surprised you're not in the Smash Bros. As a character.
Oh, that'd be sick.
Like a Steve
Mason?
skin. Oh, Mason? That'd be cool. Just does exactly what Steve does.
I just go, no, you're actually violating safety.
Yeah, there's no handrails.
things, and
Yeah.
then just
You just put handrails up around the battlefield.
I actually save everybody. I actually don't battle them at all. I actually
You're
just
like
completely-
Lakita who comes down and picks them up and puts them
I'm
back
right,
on
mate.
stage.
You're about to knock someone off. Hang on, mate.
Wait a minute.
Wait, we just gotta put this.
That's so right.
Sorry.
But yeah, no, it was a really good trip. It's just like absolute highlights. Like there was one night out where this like 45, I don't want to say she was 45, maybe she was like 40. She was an older lady, a
Because
mother.
that 5-year difference
Is
really.
huge. Yeah, I don't want to disrespect
Well,
her.
she wasn't 45, maybe 40.
Maybe like 43. But she came up to me and she was like, all like in front of all my mates, and she's like, "Don't let anyone tell you your hair's not beautiful. You've got gorgeous red hair. Don't let anyone tell you." And I'm looking around all my mates who literally for like 27 years have ripped into me about my hair being red. And she's like, I'm a hairdresser and you have beautiful hair. Like red hair's the best hair you can have and all this sort of shit. And I'm looking around and all my mates are like, is she fucking blind? Like what's she talking about?
It's weird to be like, don't let anyone tell you your hair's shit.
Yeah,
You're like,
I know. I'm like, okay, thanks.
Sorry,
Are
it-
people thinking that?
Is it? Yeah. Sorry, are people going around thinking it is shit? Why'd you have to say that? Like, I wasn't thinking that, and now that you've said that.
I looked over at my mates and I'm like, tell them that. Tell all of these people here that. I got 8 boys here right now, who've all individually giving me shit about my hair.
No.
Thank you for telling me that, but you should tell them that.
She's like, don't let anyone tell you it's shit. Me and my friends over there, they've been ragging on your hair this whole night, and I just had to go over
I
here
had
and
to back
say,
you up. And she's like, and I'm a hairdresser, so I know. And I'm like, oh, that's really nice. Then we hugged and then she left. It was really nice. But it was just so funny looking at my mates and they're just all like got this face like, are you fucking serious? Like, is she taking the piss? So that was really funny. And then like literally the next day I went for a walk down to a coffee shop and I'm walking past and this lady who was on a bike. And she
How
was,
old? 40, 45?
I would say she's probably in her 50s, 60s.
Oh, okay.
Bit down on her luck, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
partakes in the drugs.
The crystal pistol.
The crystal pistol, yeah. Anyway, rode past and she goes, "Bring back rangers." Just kept going. I was just like, just different ends of the
and then
spectrum
from that day on, her luck turned.
Yeah.
Also, did they go
Yeah, where
anywhere?
are we going? I'm right here. Like,
Yeah.
did we vanish?
Bring
I
back-
guess.
bring back rangers.
I'm like,
Hey, mate.
where have they been?
You. It's on you. To
You
do
gotta
that.
bring them all back.
You have to bring them back.
So that
I know
was-
you've been keeping them. Both.
Yeah, where are you hiding them? You must be hiding them somewhere.
You guys go.
But yeah, so that was really funny. So those were 2 really interesting moments in Sunny Coast and all centralized around my hair. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I just wonder, like, do you reckon that lady goes on like Bigfoot patrols, but just for like people with red hair? It's like thinks they're a myth kind of thing.
Maybe.
She goes to her friend. She's like, "I saw one today. I saw a ranger. I
couldn't
swear."
believe it.
You're like,
I couldn't believe
"Did
it.
you take a photo?" And she's like, "Yeah, I did." And it's like really
Super blurry. She's riding on a bike.
You're like the Bigfoot like walk like super blurry, and they're like, "No, you didn't.
I got it.
That's
it right
clearly
here.
a guy in a red wig."
That's good as super blurry because she's on the bike going past.
It's never, anytime there's something paranormal, it's never
It's
good
never
quality.
good quality.
Yeah. They're
That's
like,
so funny.
"Oh, I still don't believe it, mate. I still don't believe it.
It is hilarious how, because when I was younger, like, you know, really young, I used to wear a beanie over my hair because I hated because old women would come up to me, old like grandmothers and stuff, come up to me all the time and be like, wow, look how cute he's red. And I hated it. And then mum knew I hated it. And I'd be standing like, thanks. I'm like so angry about it. I used to hate being like, I used to just draw so much attention to me and I just didn't like it.
And now you're begging
And now I'm
for
like,
it.
please, 45-year-old hairdressers, please.
Can any of those women stay the same age and then also
wanna
come
age
up to
up
me?
into
Yeah. Those same women are now the 40, 50
40,
year old
yeah,
women.
exactly.
Yeah.
Damn, I was 20 years off. Now I'm like, please.
Born in the wrong
Can
generation.
these 30-year-olds please come up to me?
Born in the wrong generation, I swear.
Yeah, so that's, yeah. So that was really fun. Sunny Coast was good.
Yeah,
Two
that's
highlights,
good.
I guess.
That's
Maybe, I
good.
don't know. I'll take them as highlights.
Yeah, sure.
What did you get up to while I was away?
I went and saw something that you'd be very jealous of. Actually.
Okay.
I went and saw the Lord of the Rings musical.
Wow, I am jealous of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been
And
seeing that everywhere. You drive down like the highway in Melbourne, there's just the musical posters everywhere.
They were really trying to promote it. You
Yeah.
know, they really,
I can't imagine why.
really wanted people in those seats.
I would
And,
imagine people were flocking to the Lord of the Rings
Yeah.
musical. That sounds great.
Well, the billboard got us because we drove
yeah.
past it and Emma was like, oh my God, Lord of the Rings. She's like, we should watch that. We should watch that. It's the last weekend that it's
Wow.
in Melbourne. I was
Wow.
like, all right, we got to watch it.
And the first.
Yeah, the first and,
And last. Crazy.
Yeah.
It's weird how that happened.
Yeah. Well, the tickets, guess how much the tickets were full price?
Lord of the Rings musical, 3 parts. Goes for about 9 hours, I'd
Goes for
imagine.
about 3 hours.
I don't know, like 120.
$200
$200 for a musical.
down to I think we paid $79 or $89.
Jesus.
Pretty good seats. The
Yeah.
funny thing about theater is you think you've got a really bad seat. You're like, oh, I'm so far back. But the way they're all set up, every seat is
It's
like
really
a
good.
really
Yeah,
good
yeah,
seat.
absolutely.
So we sat down. We were really excited to go watch it. We were even doing drinks that were Lord of the Rings themed. So there was like,
okay.
there was like Sting.
Smeagol's Smeg.
Yeah, Smeagol Smeg. You're like, it's really like bitter and
it's kinda
salty. Kind of like sticks to your mouth. They had like, I think it was Sting, which was like a blue one, and then there was another one which was like the Hobbit's Draft or something
like
that.
a mead or whatever.
It was like an orange type flavor one, I think. I think I got that one.
What if you like had Sting and then you sat down and just started glowing? You look over, just the Gringotts goblin next to you.
Oh,
What
God.
the hell?
Magical creatures afoot. And we sat down and I was like looking at the stage and I was like, okay, this could be pretty good. It could go either way.
Yep.
And we're sitting there for about 10 minutes and then it starts.
Yeah.
And
Give us a rundown. Give
pretty
us
much from the get-go,
Yeah.
you could tell it wasn't gonna be great.
Did Peter Jackson have anything to do with it?
No.
Thank God.
No. So it starts with all the hobbits coming out and they're like, woohoo, yeah, woohoo. And they're like fucking with people in the audience. I read on Reddit, one of the
no.
hobbits came up to someone, ate all their fucking popcorn, and then they just didn't
Wow.
get a refund. And they
That's
just continued on.
crazy.
Very start of the show, ate all their food and was like, whoa, we're the hobbits.
second breakfast. You're like, fuck off, bro. This is my
I'll
first.
fucking give you second breakfast. It's called knuckle sandwich.
Yeah,
get
get
out of my face. And so they were like, well, yeah. And all of them, there wasn't like a separate orchestra that played the music. It was like all of them played music, which was really cool because like everyone was super talented,
Yeah,
being able
yeah.
to like multifaceted play
That's cool.
instruments and sing and stuff was really
That's very
cool.
impressive.
But as soon as it started, I was like, oh my God, this is going to be a long 3 hours.
Yeah, okay.
Because it starts with 2 random hobbits step forward and they go, today is Bilbo's 111th birthday.
Yeah, bro, I've read
And
the
then
books.
The next person steps up and they're like, the Shire, the safest. And then they just start exposition dumping. And I was like,
Yeah.
oh, fuck, here we go.
Show don't tell, please.
Yep. And then the first
They
thing.
didn't even sing it?
No.
They could have sang a whole
Well,
thing.
no, see, this was a theme for the whole musical.
Right.
They would give you a bunch of exposition and then they would break for a song that had nothing to do with the story at all, and then they would continue after the song's finished to the next scene where they just give more exposition.
Can you remember a song? Can you give us a little taste of one of the songs?
No, but I can tell you right now, Smeagol had his own song.
Oh, hell
that was
yeah.
fucking crazy.
About riddles or something?
No.
No? What was it about? Can you,
I don't know.
being
Mischievous. I think he
mischievous?
was like, we'll get to that soon.
Yeah, okay.
Anyway, we start. So Bilbo has his birthday.
Yep.
And he kind of like brushes over. He does the speech, which I was like, okay, that's good.
Epic.
Oh, muffin buttons.
I know half
proud
as,
feet.
Yeah. I know half as many as I want to, and I know less as many as I have to, or whatever the fuck he says.
Something. Yeah. So he did that. His impression was
Yep.
pretty mid.
Yep.
He was a pretty mid Bilbo. And then he does the magic trick disappear thing.
Okay.
Fuck, man,
How'd that look?
Oh, so shit. It was just like smoke comes up, and then he's like,
You can just see him clearly, yeah,
Just-
dark behind.
he just leaves. I was like, you could have
There
done
was a
something.
ways, yeah.
Surely you could have done something. He just leaves, and then it pretty much cuts to like Frodo getting the ring.
yeah.
Pretty much. It kind of followed the books a little bit and the movies a bit. So it was
Okay.
like 50 years passed, and Gandalf left
Ah, yeah.
and went off to do fucking bullshit, and then
nothing,
came
yeah.
back. And this is where this was about 10 minutes in, and this is where I realized this was not my Lord of the Rings. This was where it was not going the way I was hoping. So Gandalf, when he explains the powers of the ring, he never touches the ring. You know, he never touches. He's like, I'm not even allowed to touch it.
yeah,
I'm
I don't
so
want it.
powerful, I'm not
Yeah,
allowed
yeah.
to touch it. So when he's explaining it though, he like used a bit of magic to throw it from Frodo's hand into the fire, which I thought was sick.
That's kinda
A little-
cool.
There was a little spark in the fire. He's like,
Quite cool.
Gandalf, what are you doing?
And then he's like, that was quite cool. That was pretty fucking cool, wasn't it?
It was quite cool, wasn't it? Audience, please clap. And but what he did was he went and he reached into the fire and grabbed it out,
Yeah, that ain't my
and then
Lord
just
of the
held
Rings,
it in
bro.
his hand, and then gave the full exposition of like, this is the most fucking powerful ring
Yeah,
ever. And
If
that
anyone touched it, they'd be corrupted by the power of it.
yeah, while he's just
While he's
holding it,
yeah.
And then Frodo, he's like, take it, it's quite cool.
Yeah,
He said
fuck
it.
yeah.
Frodo takes
Everyone
it.
clapped.
And then Frodo goes, you should take it, Gandalf. And then he goes, don't tempt me. And I was like, you just had it in your
You
hand.
picked it up. You just had it.
Yeah, you literally just had all of the
Yeah.
power of the ring in your hand.
And he didn't even ever put it on. He just wasn't tempted by it, even holding it.
Just holding it in his palm of his hand. He's like,
Yeah.
this thing's fucking crazy.
Anyway, here you
If
have
any
it.
sort of like magical wizard or something had this, it'd be
It'd
crazy.
be fucked up.
Yeah. And that it just instantly I was like, whoever wrote this, you know, that's
yeah.
if they clearly didn't understand the source material because that
it's
is just
spiraling down. Yeah.
that's like rule number one.
Yeah.
You know?
That's why he holds it in the envelope and then puts it. You know, he's so
Yeah.
careful with it.
And then their scene selection was just very strange, cutting scenes out. You know, like the whole Rohan riders
Yeah.
just didn't exist, and they combined Denethor with Faramir, the guy that owns.
Yeah.
That is the king of Rohan. Combine that whole thing. Combine the battle of. Fuck man, I'm thinking of so many fantasy
Yeah,
words right
yeah,
now.
yeah.
Combine the battle of Gondor with the battle of Helm's
Helm's
Deep.
Deep. Yeah.
Yeah, so that was just a whole weird disaster. But the whole first act, because they have an intermission, was the first book. You know, the first movie.
Yep.
Then the second act, book 2 and 3, just
spliced
slamming
together.
it in, just slamming it in
Arguably
there.
the most dense out of the 3 books.
Yeah, I was really excited for the scene with like fighting the Balrog. That shit was not very good. It was like Gandalf gets up on like a pillar kind of thing, and then some extras wheel out like a black sheet. Yeah, they wheel out this like black sheet, and then they project fire onto the black sheet,
Right.
and then someone was under the sheet with like glowing LED eyes, and was like, yeah, It was like-
Okay.
and he was saying
the Balrog. Yeah.
he didn't say you shall not pass. He said you cannot pass because that's what he says in the book as well. You cannot pass.
Nah, heaps
you
cooler.
cannot pass.
Heaps cool in the movie.
Yeah, so I was like, it's kind of mid.
Yeah.
So that kind of sucked. Yeah, the whole thing just was pretty bad. The elves were just not very good.
Yeah. Just not very attractive.
It just wasn't very good. For some reason, Legolas was playing the accordion. That was his musical instrument.
Okay.
Which I was like, interesting
What if
choice.
he played the harp and his harp was a bow? You know
Oh,
what I
that'd
mean?
be... Okay.
All right. I'm not saying I should write this, but
Yeah, well, the nail in the coffin was when I actually saw Legolas. I was like, "There's no way that's Legolas."
Yeah.
It was a guy with slicked back brown hair.
Not
So
my
I was like,
Legolas.
"Okay," and he was wearing white chinos and white Air Force Ones,
Wow.
and that was his outfit. And
Was
he
it
had
just
like a
really
red
low
shirt on.
budget? Why was it?
It was pretty low budget, yeah. But if you're gonna do Lord of the Rings,
It's Lord of the Rings. It's like the highest budget thing you can
Yeah.
possibly do.
or if it's low budget, play into it being low
Yeah.
budget. But it was so
Yeah.
earnest and so like, wow, what a great adventure! Like we're not really gonna have any jokes in this at all.
Yeah.
We're just gonna tell the story that you already fucking know. And so that was a big letdown. The elves were weird. There was like, they got to one of the elf villages. The whole stage goes black, and then you just hear like it's like literally dead silent for 5 seconds, and then you just hear. For like 15 seconds, I'm like, what is happening? And then the spotlight comes on. There's just a lady standing in like the corner
my
of the
God.
stage who's one of the elves, and she's still holding the
Not
same note.
Galadriel.
Just a random
Just a
elf.
random elf.
Literally a
Yeah.
random elf. Just
I was like, if that's how they introduced Galadriel, I'd be like, oh, okay,
what the
sick.
fuck is happening?
Damn.
And every time there was a song, nothing to do with the story. They're like, time to go on an adventure. And then they're like, meat and second breakfast.
Really?
I'm a hobbit. And you're like, fuck me. And then, when they're at the elf village, it's just, they have a whole song in Elvish, which is cool, I guess.
Okay.
But what the fuck is going on?
That
Like,
was so much important stuff, and they just said it all in Elvish.
Yeah.
You're like, what?
so it was a 3-hour show, but they wasted most of the time on bullshit
Yeah.
songs that had nothing to do with anything. And
Damn, that sucks.
so that did suck. And then, the second half of the play was just equally. I think it was worse than the first half because of how
Damn.
rushed it was.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, Smeagol was really good.
Oh, that's good.
Gandalf was really good.
Nice.
Boromir played Boromir like perfectly.
Oh, good.
So that was really, really cool.
Boromir's a good character to nail. He's
Yeah.
a good.
I actually got a little bit teary when he died. to
Oh,
be
wow.
honest. Yeah, I was like,
Damn.
damn. I was like, fuck, that was my favorite guy.
yeah.
Like my favorite actor in this whole show, and he died.
That's good.
Yeah, and he didn't have a song. Maybe that's why I was I was sad.
Didn't have a song.
Oh yeah. And like, it's classic musical, but Aragorn's such a stern, serious character.
Yeah.
And towards the end of the play, he has his own song. And I'm like,
tough.
it's weird
Tough.
watching this bloke.
Yeah, just belled out a
Yeah.
ballad.
They're like,
Yeah.
I'm the king of the
king has
of
returned.
Middle-earth." The good parts though, I'll give some of the credit
Yeah.
where credit is due. The Shelob battle
Oh,
was
yeah?
sick.
Oh, that's good.
They actually built like a spider and they had
Wow.
people come out and like control the spiders. They're like fighting it. It was
That's
really
cool.
cool. That actually looked visually like awesome. Smeagol was great.
Yep.
He had a whole musical number which was weird.
Between him and Gollum, like back when, that was
No,
sort
it
of
was
swapping?
after that. It
Oh,
was
okay.
after that, and he was like singing in the Gollum voice. I was like,
Oh, that's good. Oh,
it was
nice.
like pretty cool.
That's
so
good.
that was good. Him falling into the lava was goofy as fuck.
Yep.
He literally he's like on the same pillar that Gandalf was on when he
Yep.
fell, and he's like, "Oh, the ring!" And he goes to fall, and then a bunch of people in black like mesh suits come out and
Grab
like
him.
catch him, and then they spin him around the stage, and he's like, "Ah!"
That's
like
so
just
funny.
spinning around. It was pretty funny and pretty comical.
What would you give it out of 10?
Oh, it's 4.
10 for Lord of the rings out of 10?
Four of the 9.
Oh,
Ring rates.
4 of the 9
Yeah.
rings.
Oh, I forgot to mention the craziest part of all the orcs.
Oh, yeah.
There was like 8 orcs,
Yep.
and they just wore like gas masks instead of like kind of looking orcish.
I don't like
They wore
this.
gas masks and they were like break dancers. When they would come out, they'd be like, "Yes, my army of orcs," and they'd be like, and then they'd be dancing like doing fucking break dancing and shit.
Just clicking. That's what
One of
they
them was
do.
on the drums, like boom, 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 boom. And I was
kinda
like,
cool.
whoa. Yeah, and they'll break dance. And like the actor that played
We need
Dennis-
our legs.
we need our legs.
Don't take our legs.
That whole thing, that whole plot point gone.
Gone, yeah.
The whole Battle of Isengard,
Gone.
literally 2 minutes.
Damn.
But it was pretty funny, like when Denethor was battling in like the Battle of Gondor type
Yep.
thing. He was a pretty old bloke. And his fight choreography was so feeble and like half-assed. It was pathetic. It was literally like, like the orcs are battling, like Aragorn's like attempting to make it look
yeah.
like a real fight, and he's just literally half sitting down, and he's like,
Really?
and he's just kind of like feebly swinging at the orcs.
Like fucking Obi-Wan versus
Yeah.
Darth Vader.
And he's just kind of like feebly swinging, and the orcs would like try and make it look more impactful than
yeah,
it
it just
was, but he was
wasn't.
just kind of sitting there,
That's
just kind of
so
waving
funny.
his sword around.
Damn.
So that kind of, yeah, it was all pretty.
Bit of a cash grab type vibe. Bit
I
of a,
think
like,
it just.
$200 a ticket and you got orcs wearing gas masks. I don't know
It's
about
just.
that.
I think it just came down to a fundamental issue with the script. You know,
But even like the production value sounds pretty pathetic.
yeah, but I also think that's the script.
Like I went to go see, I saw King Kong in the theater. That thing was fucking crazy good. That was so
Yeah.
good. They built a whole massive King Kong. Like
Damn, that's pretty. Cool.
in terms of IP,
It'd be weird if it was just a regular guy,
just a gorilla.
just a regular guy comes out.
King Kong was crazy. They had it like in the back when it was on the boat, and he like they had like all these people running around in like black suits and stuff, and he would like bring his arm out into the crowd and all this
Oh,
sort of
that's
shit.
pretty
It was
sick.
insane. And like King Kong's IP is pretty small compared to Lord of the Rings. Like,
Yeah.
and you can't. You're telling me they can't make a decent, you know?
Yeah, I don't know how it managed to get past the way they swung things together and
Yeah.
they changed people's like core beliefs
Yeah,
and reasons why
okay.
they did stuff. Like, you know, like Smeagol's whole motivation in
the ring.
in the theater production for like fucking over Frodo is finding out he's a Baggins. Because a Baggins took his ring,
Right.
you know, and to begin, he's like, Baggins, like, no.
Yeah.
And so in the theater show, like Frodo, Sam's like, come on, Mr. Baggins, or whatever. And he's like, Baggins? Like,
Yeah,
oh, fuck this
okay.
guy. Let's kill him with Shelob.
Why they change so many things? The source
I think
material is so strong.
Just to get it moving, you know, like cutting out all the deep complexities of the character and just making it.
They should have just watched the animated Lord of the Rings. Just literally copy that because that's what that does.
Yeah.
And that does it solid.
I don't know. I don't know what they did.
I don't
But then,
like it.
you know, they
I'm
did
glad
include.
I didn't go.
Yeah. They did include a bit of the book ending where they go back to the Shire and the Shire's all messed up.
Yeah.
From what's his name? Isengard fellow.
Yeah.
Saruman.
Saruman.
So that was
Yeah.
like kind of, I was like, oh, that's cool. But then they butchered that too. And I was like, oh, that kind
Okay,
of
that
sucks.
sucks.
Yeah. And
I guess you got to tell a different story, but like the story's so good. You know what I mean?
well, it's just, there was just so many moments where I was like, you could have told that so much better.
Yeah.
It just felt like it was written by somebody that kind of like watched the movies and maybe read the books once, but has never watched a YouTube 2-hour breakdown of anything. Like, and the funniest part of the whole thing was after the first hour and a half of this movie, of this musical, this girl in front sitting with her partner or whatever goes, oh, I didn't even know it was about a ring. That's what you said to her. I was like, it's called Lord of the Rings.
That's so funny. Is that a spite on her or the spite on how shit the musical was?
I don't know.
That's so funny.
Or maybe him. He
Or
should have
him.
informed
Yeah,
her.
bro. It's
you
on
know?
you, actually. That's a great point.
It's called Lord of the Rings,
yeah,
though.
that's hilarious.
I couldn't imagine going to this musical having never seen the movie and then just watching. And that's your first introduction?
Your first introduction to Lord of the Rings is crazy.
Bro, I would be like, yeah, kind of mid.
Yeah. Lord of the Rings, I don't know why everyone thinks it's good. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, so
Damn.
you didn't
That's
miss
really
much.
funny.
You know, they gave it a good go. There was some good talent,
Yeah.
but you know, no one was the trifecta.
yeah, okay.
You know, no one could sing, dance, and act.
Yep.
It was one of the three.
Yeah, right.
You'd be a really good singer, just line delivery
Yeah.
just so bad. Or
Yeah.
a really good actor like Boromir, but never sung
Yeah,
or
that's
danced.
good.
Yeah.
And that's why
And
he
he
was
was
so
really
good. That's
good.
why he was the best.
Yeah. So
I'm glad you went to that.
yeah,
I'm glad I didn't, but I'm glad you did.
it was definitely an experience for sure.
The Academy!
I learnt 3 very interesting animal facts. Three very interesting animal facts.
Pray tell, why'd you hestate? You're like,
Well,
oh, they're actually kind of
The
interesting.
second
now that
one's
I think
like,
about it.
they're all interesting, don't get me wrong. The second one's kind of an animal fact, but also not really, but it is. Okay, the first one, this one's really interesting.
Okay. No,
Woodpe-
please tell me how interesting it is.
The woodpecker
Okay. Yeah.
has an extraordinary long tongue that wraps around its own brain, and that it acts as a helmet for when it is pecking against wood to protect its brain.
So it's its tongue that
It's
protects
tongue
it.
that protects its brain. And then humans noticed that, and that's why we made helmets the way we made them.
Really? So
Yeah.
we designed after nature.
Designed after nature, learned from nature.
So we put tongues in our helmets.
Yeah, it's all horse tongues. No, I'm joking. No, it's like the
Oh, that makes
air,
so
like
much
that way
sense.
of like having like the air, and you know what I mean? Like, yeah, it's the tongue wrapping around.
How interesting. So
Yeah.
they know what a brain tastes like. They know what their own brain tastes like.
Legit.
Do you reckon they ever get like they need to scratch an itch?
They just get their tongue up
just,
there.
Just
Oh,
get up
yuck.
there. Yeah. Oh, my brain's itchy. Oh, let me just scratch that.
How crazy is that? So that's what protects them when they're pecking into wood. That's why they can handle the shock.
How do you even?
That's
how
evolution,
does that even
baby.
come up? in
Evolution, bro.
evolution? Like it is just
Yeah.
nature is. We'll never understand
I know.
it.
1 for 1.
We'll never understand. it.
Never understand it.
There's never going to be any studies. No one's ever going to come any close to understanding it. We'll just leave it as it is.
We'll just keep shrugging.
well.
Good on them.
I guess.
Oh, you know.
I'll never know.
Imagine if humans evolved into that. Just got a tongue wrapped around our entire brain.
Some people develop no brain at all.
Oh,
It feels like
okay.
sometimes. Some
know
people
it.
go their whole lives without a brain,
And without a tongue.
and with yeah,
Yeah.
I guess
There you
so.
go. Makes you think.
Well, it makes some people think.
Makes some people think. But yeah, so that's kind of crazy.
That is kind of crazy. That is an interesting fact.
Like that fact?
Hit me with the second one.
Oh, I got another fact here.
I'm a little bit hungry for another fact now.
Oh, well, let me
little bit
fulfill that need of hunger.
Consider my brain a giant tongue.
Oh,
that is just
that need
that
is-
is just ready to have its palate cleansed with another
Wow.
fact.
Great. Great. Oh, okay. I don't even know what to say to that. That's great. I'm glad because I got 2 more right here for you. This next one, the Pondersera pine.
Okay,
tree.
so before you bring me a fact next time, you gotta figure out how to
Righto. The pine tree, this type of pine tree, what Ponderosa?
Ponderosa
Ponderosa? That's what I said. Sounds like it.
pine.
The Ponderosa pine, when attacked by a western pine beetle,
Okay.
it releases a pheromone into the air that attracts that beetle's predator. That's pretty cool, isn't it?
That's fucking
Isn't that
awesome.
fucking crazy?
Oh,
Imagine
man.
you're just like getting like a tick's on you. You're like, fuck, this tick's really annoying. And then you release a pheromone that just like attracts Frank to come get rid of this.
And then just a bird comes over and picks it
Fix
off.
it off.
Man, how annoyed would you be as
Yeah.
that tree if it was any other type of beetle?
That's a good point.
Oh yeah.
Shit.
What about? Oh, fuck. What eats that thing?
What if we're just climbing that tree and then it's like, fuck this, and just like brings a lion over? Just attracts a lion.
Yeah, a bear comes over.
What the hell?
What kind of pheromone
Bears
attracts
aren't
a bear?
even native to this place. I'm in the middle of Australia. There's
You're
a bear.
like climbing up, and then you like look up, and one of the branches is just holding a gun. You're like,
oh, shit.
I gotta climb down. And then the other branch is a hand holding it, like just looks like a hand holding out, and you got to give it $20.
Yeah, it robs you.
Yeah,
The tree robs you mid climb. Oh my
Yeah.
god.
evolution, man.
Yeah.
We'll never understand it.
I've never understand. Hey, that's a great moral story. We'll never understand it.
Nature's.
And this next one's a bit closer to home. Koalas. This is a fact
Oh,
about
okay.
koalas. Koalas' fingerprints are almost indistinguishable from humans. And a few times when, police are doing some forensics, they're like, oh, we found the human's fingerprints. Turns out to be a koala's.
Really?
Isn't that crazy?
Damn,
That's a
awesome.
crazy fact. So, like, imagine, like, because koalas are also famous for chlamydia.
Yes.
So you're just at like a...
Most
or-
koalas have chlamydia for those.
Yeah,
who don't know.
yeah. That's another fact about koalas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just crazy.
So you're like with a lover, like, how do I get this chlamydia? And you find their fingerprints, and it turns out to be a koala's fingerprints.
What the hell? You could like rob a store with little koala
Yeah,
hands.
yeah. And
A
they'll
little
never know.
koala
The
hand holds
perfect
a
crime.
gun. Yeah. Damn.
You know, like they wipe off the fingerprints. You wipe it onto a koala's hand.
Yeah.
Just wipe it.
Rather than using a cloth, it's a small taxidermy koala hand that you wipe off.
The perfect crime.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was
Setting
my.
up. He's getting arrested.
I didn't shut up, man. I didn't do anything. Shut up and eat your gum leaves.
Any last meals? What's your last meal?
Probably
couple
gum
leaves.
Gum leaves would be good.
Go gum
That's
leaves and
funny.
maybe a really hard log that I can just sit on and sleep in. Maybe. This bed's too soft
I've
for
been
me.
set up. Yeah, who else would rob a gum leaf factory? I've been set up. But yeah, so yeah, there'll be 3 animal facts I learned this week.
Wow, that's awesome.
Pretty good.
Thanks for those facts.
Uh,
I got a little fact for you. Actually, I haven't fact checked this, but I'm pretty sure it's true.
okay, good. That's what we like to hear.
Yeah. After the bushfires we had,
Yep.
the terrible bushfires, which, burnt most
like
of
third of our
like
country. I think, right? Yeah.
Koalas are pretty much extinct, like in nature.
That's what
most
they-
of them burned.
That's
and
what they
died.
want you to think.
Yeah.
So they get away with some petty
That's
crimes.
actually so true. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah,
they're like
that's-
functionally extinct because of that, and they were already dealing with the whole chlamydia thing, which makes them like
Even worse.
sterile.
Yeah.
So they're pretty much It may be in like 50 years, 100
No
years, there
koalas.
probably won't be any koalas. Maybe, I don't know. Speculation. Have
Are
I
we
fact
gonna
checked
have,
that?
like-
No. Somebody check that out. I'm
Someone
pretty
check
sure
that
that's
out.
true.
We're gonna have like no native animals. I feel like everything's going extinct in Australia, except for fucking like spiders and snakes and
Yeah,
shit.
but we'll have like heaps of toads though.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, I really like the cane
which
toad.
are also not
Yeah.
native to Australia.
Fucking cane toads.
What are they native to? Cane?
The planet cane.
Cane? I don't know.
No, I think they're from the UK because wasn't it like because we brought the cane toads over to kill a cane beetle that ate the sugar cane,
That's right. Yeah.
and then they didn't eat that because actually I did learn this as well.
Oh, please.
The reason why there's so many cane toads is because when they were in like I think they're Danish, I think they're Dutch. Over there they have eggs, but it's so cold over there. They would lay like 40,000 eggs. But because it's so cold, only like 5 or 6 would hatch.
Yeah.
But because it's so warm over here, they'd lay 40,000 eggs and fucking 40,000 cane toads would hatch. So that's why we had so many.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're allowed to just kill them.
Yeah, no,
as
it's like,
Like my dad he had a golf set that was exclusively for
For
cane
cane
toads
toads,
because
yeah.
we got a lot of cane toads.
Yeah.
And you have to, because if a dog eats it or a crow eats it or something, it kills the native because
Yeah.
they're poisonous.
I think
it's
they
a
have
whole
like
thing.
I think you can boil them and they give you hallucinogenic effects. But it's not good for you.
Interesting.
I think.
Fact check that as
We
well.
did- yeah, fact check that
Oh,
as
so
well.
this
Someone
is the
fact check.
speculations segment where we just speculate on things.
Yeah, the Academy's
give
been
like
what
give
we
like
learned.
half facts that we've like kind of cobbled together and learned. True. Yeah. No, we brought the cane toads in to
Yeah.
kill the cane beetle.
Because they were eating the sugar cane.
Yeah.
And then Kane, the wrestler,
Yeah.
he's named after
And he
the
was
cane beetles.
Eating all the beetles as well. It's the same thing with rabbits. We introduced foxes to kill the rabbits, and now we have a fox problem. Why don't we just not do that?
I would just leave everything alone. Just stop fucking with shit. Oh my god.
If you just stop fucking with shit.
Maybe it
then
might just
you're
settle
right.
itself out. Nature finds a way.
Yeah. As long as that equation doesn't include
Yeah.
removing us from the equation.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's what happened, I guess. Yeah.
Well, I don't know. We got to fact check. Hey, guys, fact check that.
Someone fact check
Is that true?
Yeah, and then we can bring it up in the next academy that we learnt about the things that we just made up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's just spread more misinformation.
Yeah,
Do you know
that
the
sounds
Earth is flat? Yeah, that's actually true.
Well, that's a fact. So I don't know what you're saying.
Well, that's all the time we have on the Wizard's Tower. If you'd like to reach the Wizards, you can send an owl to the Wizard's Tower Pod at gmail.com. And you can also follow us on Instagram and TikTok. Or whatever the hell that is. Anyway, don't forget to grab your hat, grab your staff, and we'll see you on the next episode of the Wizard's Tower.